This is Christine Valdez. Welcome to my Ignite presentation on my research proposal revisions, the final assignment for Dr. Young's EPSY 5601 at UConn. I'm part of the two summers cohort of 22-23. My project took place at Middletown Adult Education, which serves 16 towns in Connecticut. The focus was on the English as a second language population. A cohort of advanced ESL students was created to promote workforce readiness skills. This cohort is to be provided activities and lessons to support immigrants' civic, linguistic, and economic integration into the United States. This same grant provides funding for certifications and training in high-demand fields like manufacturing, IT, and healthcare. My project was integrating NGen, a language upskilling platform. It's a web and mobile-based application that supports English language acquisition. It includes a comprehensive suite of adaptive lessons based on authentic English language resources from a range of media. It was designed to solve two problems at once, enabling ESL students with English skills while addressing systematic talent shortages and preparing students for workforce jobs that are in high demand, like the manufacturing, IT, and healthcare I mentioned earlier. I realize now that the research I attempted in the fall for my project was minuscule compared to the scholarly literature reviews that should have taken place. As a student at UConn, I have access through the library to sites that I would otherwise have to pay for. These databases of scholarly work should have been my go-to for my project. I feel the technology I chose was difficult to find anything on. I attempted breadcrumb-type trails, best-off articles cited by NGen. That was bound to have some bias, so I just kept following and digging. My research project did not have a research question or testable hypothesis. Instead, I had stated the hope for the project was to demonstrate that the use of NGen platform with adult ESL students would increase engagement and performance. I further explained that this would be demonstrated by enhancing learning outcomes such as English language skills and pronunciation improvement, as well as factual knowledge of a specific career path. No! That was not a researchable question or testable hypothesis. In my revision, I have two possible research questions, each with a hypothesis and a null hypothesis stated. My questions I had originally posed had too many variables and the results resembled evidence-based decision-making rather than research. The revised researchable questions may in fact demonstrate that the relationship is linear, increasing, or it may show that there is a set amount of time after which more NGen use pays off very little in increased career-specific or vocabulary. The best way to reach adult learners is through relevant, contextual learning content that is interesting to them. Andragogy learning theory recognizes and emphasizes that adults are self-directed and expected to take responsibility for decisions. Adults make personal choice and motivate themselves to learn something they value and is meaningful to them. That can be applied right away. They also desire the freedom to learn in a way that is preferable to them. Could be online, in-person, visual. In 1984, Knowles defined andragogy based on 6 assumptions related to the motivation or design of adult learners. These assumptions stem from principles involved with adult learning. This is exactly how the NGen platform is designed. This past fall, I did have passing feelings of concern that using my students for a research project may not be the most ethical endeavor. After completing the research training, I have the skills now to be aware of what is and is not ethical in the realm of educational research. Given my small cohort and the fact that going forward it will only be 6 to 8 students, a case study may be the best option in this unique situation. This would eliminate the need for randomization and make observational data very key. The predicted results in this study would be to show a correlation between the use of NGen and an increase in career-specific knowledge or vocabulary. Key factors to consider are teacher fidelity, lack of controlled environment, lack of randomization, and a need for replication. TPACK is a technology integration framework that identifies 3 types of knowledge teachers need to combine for successful tech integration. When done well, you can almost hear the symphony. This revision to my initial research project could provide some good preliminary evidence to add testament to continue or broaden research on the subject. The correlations drawn from the data may point to potentially interesting connections and causality. That would require more experimental-style research in an attempt to determine what might be causing what. There is absolutely a place for this type of a project, a contribution to a much bigger research picture, and it's definitely a project for somebody with much deeper pockets.